Back-to-back 100-point performances leave the nation's #1 ranked team at 4-0. Will Illinois be victim number 5? For the second time in the first 10 days of the season, UConn takes on the Big Ten. Tonight from Gamble Pavilion, it will be the 10th-ranked Fighting Illini of Illinois versus the #1 ranked Connecticut Huskies. And a very pleasant good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Picozzi along with Megan Pattison, and welcome to another evening of UConn basketball here on Connecticut Public Television. It isn't often that a team follows up a 43-point win with another 43-point win. That's what the Huskies have done. And Megan, every coach likes a player who has a nose for the ball, but Svetlana Abrasimova took that adage a bit too literally.
Got that right, Bob. You can see here, Svetlana Abrasimova in the wrong place at the wrong time, gets cracked in the nose, goes down hard. The nose is broken. She will undergo surgery tomorrow and will have to wear a protective mask for the next 4 to 6 weeks.
Abrasimova is certainly UConn's best all-around player, but a key to the 4-0 start, contributions from so many different players.
Well, 5 different players, Bob, are scoring in double figures, shooting so well from the floor. They're passing the ball so well, as you see there, with their assists on their buckets. And I asked Gino why this team is scoring so much.
A lot of that has to do because we're shooting the ball so well. And the reason is we're getting great shots. And we're just in a flow right now. So the fact that it's early really doesn't matter. This is what you expect from your team from the opening tap of the opening game.
Illinois is off to a 5-1 start, including a 31-point win over then 18th-ranked Boston College and a 10-point win over then 6th-ranked Notre Dame. And when the curtain goes up, the reviews have been all favorable.
Absolutely. Sophomore Allison Curtin, the big name right now in women's basketball. She's the fastest player on this team, coming off a career game against Notre Dame, a superior athlete. And what I love about this kid, 4 steals a game, 3 assists a game. I'll tell you what, the Illini are hoping for another Curtin call here tonight.
And while Curtin is the Big Ten Player of the Week, UConn's Shea Ralph is the Big East Player of the Week. She's made 20 of her last 21 shots. Will she remain red hot tonight? The lineups are next.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's starting lineups. First for the University of Illinois, a 6'2" senior from Mattawan, Michigan, 00 Kylie Martin. A 5'9" sophomore from Taylorville, Illinois, number 10, Allison Curtin. A 6'1" senior from Buffalo Grove, Illinois, number 12, Tasha Kitching. A 5'9" senior from Elgin, Illinois, number 23, Melissa Parker. And a 6'2" senior from Cranberry, Pennsylvania, number 33, Susan Glosser. Illinois assistant coaches are Renee Reed and Krista Reinking. The associate head coach is Lavonda Wagner. And the head coach of the Fighting Illini in her 26th season is Teresa Grants. And now the starting lineup for the University of Connecticut Huskies. A 5'9" sophomore from Syosset, New York, number 10, Sue Bird. A 6'2" sophomore from McKeesport, Pennsylvania, number 32, Slade Kent. A 6'2" junior from St. Petersburg, Russia, number 25, Svetlana Abrasimova. A 6' junior from Fayetteville, North Carolina, number 33, Shea Ralph. And the 6'5" senior from Midwest City, Oklahoma, number 31, Paige Sauer. Connecticut assistant coaches are Jamal Elliott and Tanya Cardoza. The associate head coach is Chris Daly. And the head head coach of the Huskies in his 15th season is Gino.
This will be the 8th meeting between Big East and Big Ten teams this year. The Big Ten has won 5 of the first 7. Back with the opening tip after this. Pavilion and Illinois' first ever visit to the state of Connecticut. A look at Svetlana Abrasimova, who I guess, Megan, you could say has, and I don't mean this unkindly, the most talked about nose in Connecticut these days. And you spoke with Rebecca Lobo yesterday. Rebecca had her nose broken a couple of times, and she told you that Megan's in for that Svetlana's in for a lot of pain with this.
Well, it's a very painful surgery when you have to go in and re-break it, and she will be put under for it. Let's see how she is now.
Sure affected her there, huh? After 4 seconds, she gets on the board, and the full court pressure employed by UConn. This is Taja Catchings to Melissa Parker. And she's picked up by Sue Bird in the half-court man-to-man. Catchings goes around Abrasimova. Rebound inside. Martin loses it. Catchings picks it up and ties it.
Well, Catchings is a phenomenal one-on-one player. Has a tendency to go in there too fast and offensive charge. Look for UConn to come in from the weak side.
Paige Sauer already ahead of her performance the other night against Pepperdine. That's a 2.
Bob, so important for Sauer to knock down her first shot. Hasn't been scoring much last year and certainly not this year, but she's got a great stroke. And
Swin Cash getting the defensive assignment on Allison Curtin. Inside Martin, pretty move and the foul.
The Illini are going to take it right to the Huskies. In typical Big Ten fashion, they're a physical team. They like to bang. They don't have a lot of really big players. But what a tough move. So you get caught up on the pick and roll. And Kylie Martin just finds a way to get fouled and make the bucket, which really good players do that.
Foul was on Sauer, the first of the game, and Catchings chases down the rebound off the missed free throw. So another opportunity for the 10th ranked Illini. Inside Blosser spins on Cash. Rebound Curtin baseline. Stripped by Ralph. And then Bird tried to direct it to Abrasimova, but it goes out of bounds. She had to at least a good idea.
The problem playing a team like Illinois, they're not that big, and it's difficult to box them out because they are so quick. Curtin is extremely quick. Blosser's quick. You gotta really get a body on him.
Illinois has out-rebounded each of its 6 opponents. Abrasimova and Bird combined for the steal, and it's Cash ahead of the field.
You talk about UConn shooting nearly 60% from the floor. That's why they get a lot of easy looks at the basket.
Abrasimova, another steal, then taken right back by Curtin, and I think Cash will be called for the foul, number 2 on the Huskies. And Curtin gets up a little slowly.
Well, I don't know if it was her knees or she looks like she's out of wind. Her elbow, I know, hit the ground pretty hard. But Swin Cash certainly grabbed her, gave her a big hug.
Again, the full court pressure. Parker dribbles through it. It's 6-4 UConn. We've played a minute and a half. Gino Auriemma has Abrasimova defending the point. Parker. Shot no good, but again, an offensive rebound. It's Martin. And Martin goes to the hole again.
The problem with those long rebounds is that you got to make sure as guards you're boxing out and coming to the glass.
Tied at 6, 3 minutes in. Cash starts to go, and we'll get our first foul on Illinois as her path was blocked in the lane.
That's where Cash has got to develop, and she's working on it, a perimeter jump shot. Because she ran right into the defense, knocked down the jumper, make the defense jump out at you, then go by.
Teresa Grentz in her 26th year as a collegiate head coach, one of the great collegiate players in women's basketball history, 3-time All-American at Immaculata College outside of Philadelphia.
The 6th winningest coach in NCAA history. She's got over 540 wins.
And she's only 47 years old.
And it's incredible.
Ralph is fouled. I think it will be on Curtin from behind. That will be 2 on the Illini. And the first on Curtin.
It's important for the Huskies to continue to move in their offense, make strong cuts, reverse the ball from one side of the floor to the other, continue to attack. They haven't had to run a whole lot of half-court offense this season, Bob, because they've gotten so many easy buckets in transition.
With the free throw, Ralph now 26 of 30 from the line this year as Teresa Grentz goes to the bench, and we get our first look at Dawn Vanna, a 6'2" sophomore from Des Plaines, Illinois. Ralph hitting the second free throw as well. Shea is number 9 in the Big East in free throw shooting. Curtin beats the pressure all by herself, goes right through the entire defense. That looked like keep away.
Well, she certainly didn't look too interested in giving that ball up.
Curtin coming off a career-high 28-point effort in the win over 6th-ranked Notre Dame on Saturday. Ralph for 3. Long rebound far side to Blosser. Here's Curtin. UConn gets back quickly on defense. Hits the trailer Blosser for the one-hander. Long rebound chased down by Swin Cash.
I think the running game is really going to help the Huskies more than the Illini, just based on the bodies and the types of athletes the Huskies have.
Abrasimova for 3. Rebound chased down by Curtin. It's a 2-on-2 with Parker. Tries to beat Ralph off the dribble and draws the foul on Shea.
Well, I don't know if Illinois wants to get into this running up and down kind of game. Curtin had nowhere to go there.
Foul was called on the floor before the shot, so instead of getting some free throws, Illinois will inbound beneath its own hoop. The Illini had 27 more free throw attempts than Notre Dame did on Saturday. Parker, nice feed into the post to Blosser. Called for steps by Jack Reardon, who's working the game tonight with Sally Bell and Kathy Lynch. This is Bird, who's come off 2 back-to-back terrific performances. Down low, feeds to Mika Williams, fakes Blosser in the air, but is called for steps.
And the thing is there, Williams doesn't really need to pump fake anyone out there. There's no one bigger than her that's going to block her shot. Just go strong.
Williams leading the Big East in field goal shooting. She's 19 for 26 from the floor. Parker right side, Curtin rejected by 5'7" Kenitra Johnson. Gina Oriema told me yesterday, Megan, we have to find Curtin every moment she's on the floor, because obviously she has become Illinois' go-to player, and you have to get out on her to reduce her shot opportunities.
Well, their philosophy is we're not going to let the other team's best player beat us, so make other people step up.
Tough shot over Ralph, no good. Curtin might have gotten away with a foul there on the rebound. Left side Blosser, no good. Rebound still alive and in the lane. The foul will go against Illinois.
Well, by Curtin's face, you would think it might be on her.
Yeah, and it's her second. That could be trouble.
That's bad news for Teresa Grentz and her club.
Illinois out rebounding UConn 8-1 in the early going. So Curtin will sit down with the 2 fouls.
Based on what she just said, you know she doesn't agree with that call. She said that's just crap.
Shavonna Hunter, a 5'7" freshman from Hazel Crest, Illinois, replacing her. Bird defended by Parker. Gets the high screen from Asia Jones. They wanted to work the pick and roll, but it wasn't there. Bird falls, blocking foul Parker. Number 1 on her, and 4 on Illinois, and we've only played 4 minutes and 2 seconds. Which means it's time to take a timeout. 15:58 to go first half. We're all even at 8. Back at Gamble Pavilion, tied at 8. Megan, there's a reason why Illinois is holding its opponents to 36% shooting from the floor.
Well, they guard the screen and well, and the pick and roll here very well. Parker goes behind the screen of Asia Jones, so therefore Bird has nowhere to go. And they move their feet so well defensively, it's difficult to turn that corner and get to the basket.
Teresa Grentz spent 19 years as the coach at Rutgers before coming here. There's the shooting story in the early going, and big disparity between the number of shots attempted because of Illinois' work off the offensive glass.
Well, they're just hungrier right now on the offensive glass. That's what offensive rebounding is a lot of the time, just effort.
Bird gets her first 2 of the evening. Huskies up by 2. Speaking of offensive rebounding, 6 for Illinois, none for UConn. Vanna defended by Shea Ralph. This is Parker, who was scoreless against Notre Dame on Saturday. Hunter to Blosser. Reverses it to Parker. Shot clock inside 10. Martin called for traveling as she tried to beat Tamika Williams off the dribble. Abrasimova back in for UConn, replacing Ralph, as we mentioned. Sveta will undergo surgery to repair the broken nose tomorrow, then will be fitted with a mask. It's expected that she'll have to wear the mask for 4 to 6 weeks. She says she's only going to wear it for 2. But somebody might overrule that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know, they have good staff here, and she'll be smart.
Abrasimova missing off the offensive rebound, then gets it back and is tied up, held ball, possession arrow pointing toward Illinois.
You got to give Abrasimova a lot of credit. She is not tentative at all. She's going to the basket, their arms up there by her face. She went in there to cause that jump ball. She's not thinking about that nose, which is the best way to play. She'll think about it, though, if she gets hit.
Parker throws it over the head of Blosser and out of bounds. Let's get another look at Abrasimova, as you mentioned, Megan.
See, look, she just got hit there. But she's not giving up, and got to give that kid a lot of credit. She's a lot tougher now than when she arrived here in Stores, that's for sure.
Abrasimova finds Williams, looks for Jones, instead puts it on the floor, then committed the cardinal sin. She left her feet without knowing what she wanted to do. Right side, Martin feeds Catchings into the post, who feeds Blosser on the far side of the lane.
Terrific offense there by Illinois. Nice passing, going to the open spots.
Catching, here's a steal by Parker. Can Bird catch her from behind? Now she caught her in time to foul her, and it could be a 3-point play.
Coach Ariaman not very happy. Not a smart play by Sue Bird. I'd like to see. It was a terrible pass from Abrasimova. Parker did a good job of stepping in. But let's see if Bird touches her. She looked at the ref incredulously. Like, how can you call it? She got her hand on it, and if you put your hand in there, the ref's going to call it. That's what kids don't get. I mean, why bother putting your hand in there if the player is that close to the basket to score, and then you give up an offensive rebound on the free throw line, and then a three-pointer? That's just a backbreaker.
A 5-point possession for the Illini. Quickly a 7-0 run and a 5-point lead.
Well, Illinois gets out in the passing lanes. They deny every pass. They're down in their stance. They work really hard defensively. What you've got to do is you got to go backdoor if they're going to be denying, and then you got to cut to the basket, and you got to drive hard with the ball.
Ralph with the miss. Jones rebound. Tied up. Possession arrow pointing toward UConn as Swin Cash and Sue Bird both return. Asia Jones and Abrasimova will sit down. All of Illinois' points tonight, with the exception of that last three-pointer by Martin, have come in the paint. Off the inbound, Williams. She's fouled from behind by Martin. That will be number 1 on Kylie, and already Illinois with 5 team fouls, and we've only played 6 minutes and 20 seconds.
And if you're a tough man-to-man team, you've got to know how the refs are calling the game and adjust accordingly. They're calling it very tight.
Off the pretty inbound, Cash lays it in. Nice work by Ralph.
Well, I don't know how Cash came up with that ball, to be honest with you, Bob.
It's a great catch. Illinois by 3. Catchings to Martin. And another traveling violation. Martin having big-time problems controlling the basketball.
That's what you want to do. You want to put pressure on the 6'2" guard. I mean, she's a tall guard. She's got a pretty good handle, but make her handle the ball more than the point guard.
Illinois second in the Big Ten early in the season in turnover ratio. Knocked out of bounds. UConn has 20 seconds to shoot. Ralph, the Big East Player of the Week, made 18 consecutive shots before finally missing one the other night against Pepperdine, and the same target. It's Cash, and she takes it to the hole again.
Well, there's no way Martin can guard her one-on-one. They've got to exploit that.
Offensive foul on Taja Catchings. That's 2 on her and 6 on the club. So 2 of Illinois' 3 best players Curtin and Catchings already with 2 fouls.
Well, Catchings has a tendency to offensive charge. You look at the number of turnovers she has, and it's indicative. There's a lot. She turns the ball over a lot, and you get credited with a turnover when you charge.
She, of course, the sister of All-American Tamika Catchings of Tennessee. Their dad, Harvey, played 11 years in the NBA. Pull-up jumper, Kenitra Johnson. A rare miss for her. Rebound, look at Cash work. Kick out, Johnson for 3. And on the rebound, Ralph will be whistled for her second personal. And 5 on the Huskies.
Shea can't believe that foul was called. From what I saw, it looked like she indeed threw her down. But the problem is, she said that's not a foul, but she's so strong that she may not think it's a foul, but she could do it with one hand. And with a little help from Martin with some acting out there.
Hunter will walk it across. Gives to Parker. Knocked loose again.
Well, the Huskies have got it. You know, their intensity. They've never seen anyone with the intensity of Illinois on the defensive end of the floor. So the Huskies have to forget about what's happening on offense, come back, get in their stance, and limit Illinois to 1 shot. But not one that easy.
Right, pretty feed Hunter inside to Martin for 2. So Martin with 9 points early inside Tamika Williams, and she's called for traveling for the 2nd time tonight.
Well, that time Blosser did a great job of coming over from the weak side to help. And Tamika's just got to go up with that ball. But, you know, the person making the pass has got to see that. And if the weak side defense is cheating, then they got to get it to that man.
Ball reversal to Parker, and they throw it away again. Timeout, 11:53 to go in the first half. It's been a turnover-laden game. Illinois by 3. You can argue with that, although Shea is 0 for 2 tonight. She was 20 for her last 21 going in. It's Illinois by 3. Megan, you mentioned on opening day against Iowa that no one on this team works harder than Swin Cash.
Well, she's so difficult to guard because she's extremely athletic. She's quick. She can jump, as we saw there. Quick first step. And finds a way to get to the basket. She's got to be more aggressively minded, I think, especially tonight with the mismatch, I think, that they have. But right now, Illinois is in a little zone. Sagging man-to-man.
Kelly Schumacher in for the first time for the Huskies. Right side, Ralph. Finds Cash in the lane. No good. Rebound pulled down by Vanna.
That's where you want the ball against that defense, right in the middle.
So Catchings remains on the floor with 2 fouls. Curtin sat on the bench when she picked up her second, and that's where she remains. Vanna reversal to Parker. Blosser, nice ball fake. Fake Schumacher into the air. And on the rebound, Illinois tries to save and does. Catchings loses her footing, misses everything, and then Vanna hammers Cash on the rebound. That's number 7 on Illinois.
Bob, Schumacher never has to leave her feet. You saw what she just did to Catching shot. She makes people change their shot because of her long arms. Well, when her player is at the foul line, especially out there, don't worry about it. But when it's down low, just body up, hands up in the air, and you make them change their shot.
So Cash will go to the line to shoot the 1-and-1. Huskies are going to get lots of free throw opportunities in the remaining 11 minutes. Cash now 12 of 15 from the line for Gino Auriemma's club, which is shooting 70% from the free throw line, a quantum leap from last year's performance.
And free throw shooting wins games, Bob. You knock down these shots, especially in a game where you're not shooting the ball very well, that makes all the difference in the world.
Hunter beats the press. Parker uses the glass.
That was a tough pass and a terrific catch from Parker.
Ralph reverses the dribble. Bird down low, Cash. Great ball movement by the Huskies on this possession, but Cash stepped on the end line.
Well, not a bad idea there by Cash to try to get to the basket. It was just good defense until she ran out of room.
Illinois' only loss came to Santa Barbara in the semifinals of the preseason WNIT, a game that was played at Illinois. Hunter rejected by Cash. Parker right side to Vanna. Down low Blosser.
That's it. Should we stay on your feet?
Shot clock inside 10.
And you don't want to foul here. Make him take a tough shot.
Blosser goes around Schumacher and hits the bottom of the net. Great defense that time by Schumacher. But the pass to Bird, what an athletic move to prevent that turnover. That ball was ticketed for the out of bounds. And somehow she caught up with it. Cash just making a living tonight, moving without the ball into the lane and then receiving the target. And in most cases, it has come from Ralph.
And exploit that all night long until Illinois proves they can stop it.
10 points for Cash. Catchings puts on the brakes. No good. Rebound Vanna. Blocked by Schumacher. Ball fake by Hunter. No good. Rebound Schumacher. She certainly made her presence felt at the defensive end the last 2 trips. But she would rather relive those last few seconds. But Gino Auriemma doing nothing but applauding. Teresa Grentz is going to call her first timeout and will step aside. 9 minutes 27 seconds remaining in the first half. Illinois, the number 10 team in the country, leading the number 1 ranked UConn Huskies by a score of 19-18. Illinois led by as many as 5 after a 7-point run. Illinois in foul trouble, already over the limit with 7, and 2 fouls each on Catchings and Curtin. Timeout, 9:27 to go in the half. Back with more from Gamble Pavilion after this. It's Illinois by 1. Now, Megan, I'm the rookie. You're the veteran on these telecasts. Are you allowed to pass on happy birthday greetings on these things?
I'm all for it. I think that is definitely.
I would probably get in trouble if I wished a happy 91st birthday to my dad.
Get out.
91st birthday.
Happy
Watching
birthday,
the game
Mr.
at home tonight.
Pagozzi.
Visiting us in Connecticut. Here on a week visit from California.
Extended Thanksgiving holiday.
Yeah.
Outstanding. God bless him.
This is Hunter off the dribble. Vanna with the jumper. So Illinois out of the gates following that timeout with a setup play, and they execute to perfection.
Absolutely, Bob. Vanna did a great job of getting to the open spot. The defense didn't respond.
Bird no good. Rebound Blosser. Illinois with the ball up 3. 9 minutes left first half.
Now coming up and jacking up a quick shot on the offensive end. Not necessarily what you want to do when you're struggling offensively.
Pass in the lane. Catchings picked off by Cash. Here's Ralph. 3-on-1. No good, but a foul on Vanna, and not necessarily a bad foul there. Her second 8 on the club, and Shea Ralph will do something that she's done quite often in the first 4+ games, and that's get to the free throw line.
Well, you talk about having the ball and with only one idea in mind, going right to the hole. And she's just so good, Bob, at controlling her body. That's a rare miss for her when she gets fouled. Also a rare miss there from the free throw line.
Only the 5th one she's missed this year. Swin Cash departs. She's been the best player on the floor tonight for the Huskies. Kenitra Johnson back in. So's Asia Jones. Looks like Gino Auriemma is giving Abrasimova more frequent rest than normal.
Which would make sense, because let's not forget just the hesitancy with the broken nose, but it's harder to breathe.
Yeah, you got to breathe through that thing.
It's kind of important.
This is Hunter, defended by Ralph. Hunter seeing plenty of minutes at the point. With Curtin in foul trouble, they move Parker over to the off guard. Misses the shot. Rebound Catchings. Foul UConn. I think it might be on Johnson.
Actually, Asia Jones was the one who got credit with that reaching in.
Yep, that's her first.
And it's simply because the Illini, Bob, are just animals on the glass.
Parker, wild shot, no good. Rebound, Tamika Williams. Illinois is 7th in the Big Ten in rebounding. Somewhat of a surprise based on what we've seen tonight. They're cleaning up at both ends.
Well, they've made a real concerted effort to get in there. And you give them all the credit. It's working early on.
Inside Blosser. She's doubled. Let's see how she passes out of the double team. finds the open man. Hunter can't bury it. Rebound, Catchings, and the putback.
Catchings is killing the Huskies on the offensive glass.
Five rebounds for Catchings in the first 12 and a half. Pass inside Ralph. Great hustle to save it. Jones with the jumper. And Ralph with great hustle again to get the rebound and draw the foul.
Well, every shot the Huskies take, all of them have been rushed, and they all look, almost every shot, like that shot Asia just took, as soon as she shot it, I knew it had no chance of going in. They're not shooting the ball with a lot of confidence. They seem to be rushing them, and that happens, especially when a lot of your key players are young. But when you're struggling offensively, that's what happens.
And that's 3 fouls on Catching, so she has to leave. And Teresa Grentz puts Curtin back in. Teresa was chatting with Curtin on the sideline, something to the effect, whatever you do, don't pick up your third.
So now the Huskies have to be smart, and whoever Curtin is guarding, I would spread it one-on-one, let him go to the basket.
Ralph makes the first. Gino Auriemma said, noting that Illinois has already beaten Boston College and Notre Dame, he said they're looking to take home the Big East trophy, and if they beat us, we might have to give it to them. Timeout, 7:26 left. UConn down 2. Pavilion, 7:26 to go in the half. Illinois by 2.
And Bob, I know you're a big Clay Bocelli fan.
Taja Catchings is making a lot of fans. She's been terrific in the first half.
Catchings, just so athletic. You got to get a body on her and really push her back. Make her jump over you.
Curtin defended by Abrasimova. Blosser double, deflected from behind by Asia Jones, results in the breakout pass to Johnson.
It was a perfect pass from Ralph to Johnson. Johnson didn't even have to miss a step. She caught it, easily put on the floor, and put it away.
Vanna, turnaround jumper, off the hands of Williams to Ralph. Let's see if she tries to draw the foul. Gets her own rebound.
And I don't know if she realized that Curtin was right there, but Curtin backed away. That's where you got to try to initiate the contact as an offensive player, but it's difficult to do that in the middle of action.
7 points by Ralph, and UConn regains the lead by 2. Pass nearly stolen by Ralph. Here's Curtin for 3. Back rims it, rebound Abrasimova. It's a 4-on-3. Kick out Ralph. High post Jones. And a 3-second call on Tamika Williams.
That is the worst call in the game. What have I always said to you? The three-second call like that. And I'm surprised Sally Bell would make that call. And Gino's irate, and he should be. I think that's a terrible call. I don't even think the ball was up here for 3 seconds. Exactly what he just said.
But you don't use your hands as much when you talk.
No, I'm Irish, not Italian.
You're Irish?
I am Irish.
Could have fooled me.
The cheap Irish skin should be your first clue.
This is Faulkner in the game for the first time, number 22. Pull up. Curtin, tough shot.
Off the dribble. She is such a lethal weapon on the offensive end. You got to have a hand in the face all the time.
Only her 3rd and 4th points of the night. And as the pass comes into Jones, foul will be called on Illinois from behind. It will be on Holly Wilson. That's her first. Illinois now with 10 team fouls, so it's the double bonus for UConn for the remaining 5:41. Everything will result in 2 attempts.
That's a tough shot, dribbling left, and I'll tell you what, Abrasimova defended that pretty well. That's just a tough shot by Curtin. And on this end, that foul call is not a good foul call. And I think Sally Bell is a good official. She's considered one of the best in the game, but I think, Bob, she felt like she wasn't involved enough in the game, and she had to start blowing her whistle.
Bird replaces Johnson. Jones makes the first free throw. Her first point of the night. UConn now 9 of 10 from the line in the early going, up by 2, and Illinois comes up the floor quickly and gets the easy hoop by Wilson, her first point of the night. Abrasimova to Bird, back to Abrasimova for 3. Rebound inside, Tamika Williams.
See, the Huskies can own the offensive glass, but they've got to get position because it's not about height.
Hunter spins in the lane. And Williams will be fouled. An over-the-top foul will be called on Wilson. That's 2 on her. You know, playing at Gamble Pavilion can be a very intimidating thing, and I spoke with Teresa Grentz about that yesterday. And she said, hey, we've played before crowds of 16,000 people. We've been exposed to cheerleaders and pep bands and a hostile atmosphere. We respect them, but we're not coming here to be humiliated. And I promise you, we won't be intimidated. They certainly haven't in the first 15 minutes.
Well, Grentz was the one who got the team out of their small arena into a 16,000 seat arena, and she's a visionary of sorts, and she wants to see the game grow. She's been a part of it for 26 years, and one thing hurts, none of her teams will ever be intimidated.
Right. Teresa was the 1992 U.S. Olympic coach. Right out of college, she got into the coaching profession for 2 years at St. Joe's, then 19 at Rutgers, and this is her 5th year at Illinois.
And 4 of those years at Rutgers, she coached associate head coach Chris Daly. So we'll try to get some words with Chris at halftime about Coach Grentz.
They won a national championship at Rutgers. Chris was a co-captain, Grentz the coach, an AIAW title in the pre-NCAA women's tournament days. Shot clock running down. Curtin with Ralph all over her in traffic. Oh. So she now has 6, and 4 of the 6 on tough shots.
She's a big-time scorer. She makes terrific moves and has a nose for the basket.
Inside. There's that expression again. Nose for the ball, nose for the basket.
A lot of nose talk tonight.
Too. Hunter, kick out, and it's blocked by Johnson, but Sally Bell says she got a piece, and it could result in 3 free throw attempts. Let's see. If you attempt a 3 and you're fouled in the act of shooting, you get 3.
Let's see if Kenitra, she gave another look like no way. It did look like she hit the ball.
She is shooting 3.
But officials, you know, they're only human. But the one thing that players and coaches alike detest is that when officials anticipate something that's going to happen and they call the foul. And that's happened a few times already this evening.
So that's Illinois' first made free throw of the night. We've played 15 minutes and 40 seconds.
You know, they only shoot 66% as a team, and that's going to kill you, Bob. And it's a good thing Shea Ralph just sat down. She was in the game for a long time with 2 fouls. Luckily for the Huskies, she didn't pick up a 3rd.
Illinois is only 9th in the Big Ten in free throw shooting. That's 9th out of 11 teams. Next up for the Huskies, their 3rd and final Big Ten opponent of the regular season, Penn State on Sunday in Orlando. Another Illinois turnover. Huskies by 2, 4:04 to go in the half.
Illinois turns the ball over quite a bit. And here, Bob, dropping back into a little 3-2 zone. We got to beat it with diagonal passes, dribble, penetrate, kick. We got to fire the ball around when you're playing against a zone.
We have a timeout, 3:51 to go in the half. Teresa Grentz's Illini down by 2. Familiar face, Nikisha Sale. She scored a few points during her UConn career, like 2,178 of them. This express written consent of CPTV is strictly prohibited.
I loved what Keisha had working on her head there. Cute little headgear.
Pull up Cash. No good. Rebound Schumacher. Her first 2 of the evening, and she's been quite active since entering the ball game.
That's what Schumacher's role has to be. Offensive rebounds, block shots, get rebounds on the defensive end, but on that offensive end, crash the boards, get some of that garbage, that junk that is so vital to a team's success.
Megan, are you surprised at how in situations, particularly after made baskets, Illinois is pushing the ball up the floor quickly?
Well, they have terrific athletes on their team, and I think it's a great ploy by them to try to catch UConn sleeping.
Blosser in traffic and the whistle for a foul. It's been a quiet night for Blosser, a first-team All Big Ten performer a year ago. She has just 2. And Gino Auriemma getting a little hot under the collar. The frequent sound of that whistle.
Well, you know, I struggle with this, and I know coaches alike all over the country struggle with this. Let the players play. I mean, that was I thought it was incidental contact. Schumacher had her hands up. She was body up, but that's how you're supposed to play. It's a physical game. These officials are calling the game really, really tight, and UConn's lucky. Illinois has got more players in foul trouble.
You know, told me yesterday, we need to run this team and test their depth. That's where we should have the advantage. Illinois, a very physical team. Gino compared them. He said they're a little bit like Rutgers in that they're so physical but not as athletic as Rutgers. Pull up Johnson, no good. Rebound Curtin. Here's a 2-on-2 if they hurry. Curtin goes right by Bird, missed the shot. Abrasimova heads the other way. Illinois gets back very quickly on defense.
Well, Illinois is packing it in defensively and trying to make UConn beat them from the outside, and it's working so far early because the Huskies are struggling from the perimeter.
Abrasimova in traffic, and she did the same thing Williams did earlier. Left her feet without knowing what she wanted to do.
Well, you know, and Coach Auriemma, you could see, is frustrated with the team's offense. They're not moving. They're not knowing what to do against this packed-in zone defense. And so then they get all whacked out and they jump up in the air and they don't know what they're going to do with the ball.
Martin hits the deck away from the ball. Blosser over Schumacher. Long rebound pulled down by Martin. Dribbles to the baseline and is called for steps again. It's been a nightmare for her in the turnover department.
A nightmare for her too. Grentz is annoyed with the calls, and they've seen certainly the shorter end of the stick as far as the fouls go.
Grentz told me that this UConn team keeps adding talent, and were it not for the devastating injuries of the last couple of years, she says, I think you'd see 1 or 2 more of those championship banners hanging from the rafters in this place. Of course, last year the injury to Sue Bird, the big one. The year before to Nikisha Sales and Shea Ralph in the preseason. The year before that, the injury to Ralph just as the postseason began. Faulkner back to Vanna. And Faulkner. 1:44 to go in the half. It's UConn by 3. Huskies 4-0. The Illini 5-1. Off the screen comes Martin, the jumper. She's got 11 points. She's
left-handed, coming off that screen, coming to her strong hand. You can't trail the screen in that case. You've got to either fight through it or come behind it and not let her get that shot off.
Bird pull up. Only the 3rd and 4th points of the night for the sophomore from Syosset, New York, who has made such a big difference with this team now that she has recovered from the torn ACL injury of a year ago, which ended her season after only 8 games. And UConn was not the same team after she went down.
Well, she's made all the difference in the world coming back. And Tamika Williams just called for a foul, and now we're back to the free throw line. I think the refs want to have a big impact on this game.
Number 1 on Tamika and 9 on the Huskies, and Asia Jones will replace Schumacher, who gave Gino Auriemma some very productive minutes.
And he had said that center position is going to be maybe not done by one person, rather by committee. You know, then he needs a double-double out of that position, and he doesn't care how he gets it, whether it's with Shuey, with Paige Sowers, the combination, as long as they get it.
If the name Kylie Martin sounds familiar, and the name Susan Blosser for that matter, that it should. They both played 2 years at Rutgers before transferring to Illinois, so the Huskies saw them in the Big East. In fact, Blosser made the Big East all-rookie team when she was a freshman at Rutgers.
Yeah, so if you say kids go to schools because of the academic reputation and all that other stuff, they go because of the coaches. She left Rutgers, they left.
Cash spins, no good. Cash with the follow. She has been an absolute terror. She has a dozen.
She's an emotional firecracker on this team, and she's given the team exactly what they need right now.
Martin, another turnover. So the good news is that Kylie Martin has scored 13 points. The bad news is that she repeatedly has turned the ball over. 13 turnovers for the Illini.
And the one word I would use to describe Swin Cash is she is just relentless. She's getting her team jacked up.
Pass in the post to Jones, who's tripled. Spins away from it. That's using her pivot foot. Then takes the jumper. Nobody home underneath, though.
Well, it wasn't a smart shot. It was a last-minute decision. I mean, get rid of the ball there. Asia's a terrific shooter, but not in that case.
Shot clock off, and UConn with the steal. Williams has Johnson on her right.
Incredible play to end the half for the Huskies.
So the Huskies do end the half on a very positive note, and they have themselves a 5-point lead.
Well, Swin Catch is a big reason for that, and that's why that shot by Asia Jones was such an ill-fated shot. It was just a bad shot because of the timing of the game. You've got to be aware of the situation at all times.
So we're halfway home at Gamble Pavilion. We've reached the half, and #1 ranked UConn leads #10 Illinois by 5. UConn leading #10 Illinois 41-36. Megan Pattison had a chance a moment ago to chat with associate head coach Chris Daly.
Chris Daly, not the half of basketball a lot of the fans here in Connecticut are used to. What are some of your concerns here at halftime?
15 offensive rebounds is a big concern, and just the fact that we're not attacking them. I think we need to attack them on the dribble more. They had a little bit of foul trouble, and I don't think we took advantage of that in the first half.
All right, good luck in the second half. Bob, back to you.
All right, Megan, thank you very much. UConn out-rebounded 25-20 in the first half, and as Chris mentioned, 15 offensive rebounds for the Illini, who have out-rebounded every opponent they've played thus far this year. Let's take a look at some first half highlights, and we'll begin with a look at some of that UConn defense, which forced 14 Illinois turnovers. Megan, the double team by Abrasimova results in the easy layup at the other end by Swin Cash.
Well, just active hands, and that's what usually you steal it out of the double team. But these are some of the few plays that they were active defensively. But you got to box out. That's the key.
Shea Ralph off the inbound finds Cash.
Again, one-on-one, Cash is as good as anybody in the country. She's got such a quick first step.
Look at the halftime statistics. Illinois attempted 5 more shots, made the same number as the Huskies. We mentioned the rebounding story. Turnovers, 14 for the Illini, and points in the paint. Illinois with a 4-point edge. We mentioned that Teresa Grentz promised her club would not be intimidated by what can be a very intimidating atmosphere, and they certainly weren't.
Absolutely not. They play in a tough conference, and she is big on instilling in all of her players confidence. And they did a lot in that first half, and Curtin only played 8 minutes and scored 6 points. So Huskies better buckle up here.
Catching's back in the game with 3 personal fouls, misses the jumper, rebound, pulled down by Cash far side. She gives to Ralph, who had 4 first half assists. That time Catchings nearly picked up a 4th, and a traveling violation on the Huskies.
Sauer did a good job getting an offensive rebound, but see what you got to do in that case. And Paige knows this: catch it and put it right back up. Don't try to fiddle with it and put it down on the floor.
Sauer only played 2 minutes in the first half, hit her only shot. Blosser pass deflected and stolen by Sauer. Here's Bird, right sideline to Ralph, and Abrasimova took a tumble away from the play. She looks like she's okay.
It looked like she might have twisted her ankle.
Boy, she went down very awkwardly. But the fact that she's back on her feet so quickly and that Shea Ralph has a smile on her face is a good sign. We've seen too many Huskies go down in a heap and not get back up in a hurry in recent years.
Well, the interesting thing, and I think maybe the reason Shea was laughing, is that nobody was around Abrasimova. And she just went down, and that would be a case where he would say maybe she tripped over a line.
Well, she'll get a rest here. They want to perhaps check her out. At the very least, get some instruction from Coach Oriema.
Well, you know that's always going to happen.
He knows the first to admit that the relationship between him and Abrasimova has been an interesting one with some ups and downs.
Well, what happened here, Kenitra Johnson did a terrific job of getting in on the offensive glass, and it went off of Illinois, so the Huskies get it back.
Parker then steals the pass from Bird, and here comes the Illini. Down 6, left side Curtin. Pass inside to Blosser, and a foul called on Sue Bird. That's number 2 on Bird.
And I don't know if we have that, but I thought that was another bad call. Bird did a good job of dropping down.
On the inbound, knocked out of bounds by Johnson, so they'll do it again. Curtin was a member of the Big Ten All-Rookie team a year ago. Ralph steals the inbound ahead to Bird, and she can't finish. But Cash with great hustle to keep the rebound alive, and last touch by Illinois.
Well, this will happen, but Sue Bird is having a nightmare here tonight. Good steal by Shea Ralph.
Off the inbound, Sauer misses the shot. Ralph has done a phenomenal job of finding the wide open target off the inbounds in the offensive end. On the rebound, Sauer gets up off the deck, and the rebound is right in her lap, and a foul is called. Now 3 players were there. Curtin was one of them. Who's it on?
Sauer again at the right place at the right time.
I think it'll be on Martin. It's number
Got
2
triple
on Martin.
team there, yeah.
Second team foul on Illinois this half. Play becoming a bit more physical here to start the second half. Bird to Johnson. Down low, Sauer. Drop step, and the foul.
Perfect time for Paige Sauer to step up and make some big plays. Illinois had fallen into a zone defense. She stepped up on the weak side into an open gap. Got hit, but had the presence of mind to knock it down.
Only time these 2 teams played was in the Sweet 16 in 1997. That was in Iowa City. UConn won a tough game 78-73. It was tied at 69 at one point. UConn then scored 6 straight points. Sauer was named to the all-regional team that year. She had a terrific NCAA tournament. Pass inside to Martin, and she is fouled, I believe, by Sauer.
Well, Martin had snuck behind the defense, and that, in a sense, would be Sauer's fault. She was on the backside. She lost sight of Martin, and as the backside defender, you've got to see everyone on the floor. And Martin was able to sneak in there, and then when Paige had to come over, it was too little too late. But this is a perfect kind of game for Sauer because they're not real physical in terms of how big they are and banging around. They are a physical team, but they're not real tall in the interior, and this is a game where Sauer can excel.
Second team foul on the Huskies. Abrasimova replaces Bird. Martin now with 14 points, the leading scorer in the ball game, coming off a terrific 16.7 rebound effort in 38 minutes last Saturday against Notre Dame. Illinois was ranked 15th in the country, and with the wins last week and other people ahead of them losing, they moved to number 10 in the Associated Press poll and number 13 in the ESPN USA Today poll. Boy, it's been some night for Swin Cash.
Again, they don't have anyone on the back line who can guard Swin Cash.
14 points for Cash. Curtin gives to Martin. Down low, it's Hagberg. And a foul will be called. Sauer was at one side, Ralph on the other, and Ralph will be whistled for personal foul number 3. And that's 3 on the Huskies here in the second half. So our first look of the evening at Karen Hagberg, a 6'3" freshman who did not play the last time out against Notre Dame. 2-time first-team All-Stater in Illinois. Bird back in. Tamika Williams. Sauer and Ralph will sit down.
See, I love how the official from the opposite side makes that call. And if the foul was called on Shea Ralph, she didn't touch her. And that angle was a good angle to see that. And she was credited with the foul, and she didn't touch her. And that's where players get frustrated because the ref out of position made the call.
Now Hagberg missed the free throw. It was an unusually long rebound, and Curtin and Williams went for it, and Curtin's hustle helped result in Williams called for steps. Crowd didn't like the call.
Well, they're not going to like any call against the Huskies. That's their job. 8-point
UConn lead. Martin, great ball fake, got Cash off her feet. Rebound down low, Curtin. Rebound in traffic, held ball. Possession arrow toward the Huskies.
This is going to be a good gut check for the Huskies to see if they can toughen up, box out, and get rebounds, big defensive rebounds when they need them.
Illinois 0 for 4 from the floor here in the second half. Crowd trying to inspire UConn. Right sideline, Bird. Reversal to Abrasimova and a terrific screen by Williams, but Abrasimova couldn't hit the shot. Cash kick out Bird for 3. Sue Bird now 2 for 5 from the floor tonight with that miss. Curtin drives, trips over Kenitra Johnson, who will be whistled for the foul. Number 2 on Kenitra and 4 on the Huskies here in the second half.
A play like that, you see just how quick and fast that Curtin is. Allison Curtin, and when someone can make a move like that and turn a corner so quickly with the ball, it's pretty impressive.
Huskies 0 for 7 from 3-point range tonight. This is Martin. Catchings down low. Johnson steps in and picks it off. And then a wild pass winds up in the lap of Bird.
And that was pure luck.
Williams, foul line jumper.
Well, if they're not going to guard her, you got to make the defense honest.
Williams now 3 for 3, 8 points. Abrasimova nearly stole it right in front of us. That means with the 3 for 3 tonight, Megan, that means Tamika Williams is 22 of 29 on the year from the floor.
That's incredible. And they're not just little layups underneath. You saw there, that was a 15-foot jumper.
Biggest lead of the night for UConn. Doesn't seem like a 10-point lead, does it?
Not at all. The Huskies are not playing the type of basketball that everyone is used to seeing them play, and Illinois is a scrappy club.
Up top, it's Blosser down low. Difficult catch for Catchings. And on the rebound, a scramble and a held ball. This time it belongs to Illinois.
And Stacey Hansmeyer's into the game now, as is Kelly Schumacher. Hansmeyer's got to be the enforcer out there.
First appearance of the night for her. Inbound, Martin, wide open look. Good box out by Hansmeyer, resulted in the rebound by Bird. Left side, Johnson.
So Johnson was open there. A good pass will get her a good shot.
And Blosser will be whistled for the foul on Schumacher. That's number 2 on Blosser and 4 on Illinois here in the second half. Make it 3 on Blosser.
You know, at a play like that, I think you can't call that foul. Let him play. She's going for the ball. It's a loose ball. Incidental contact.
Blosser only with 3 points tonight. She's just 1 for 7 from the floor. She's the second leading scorer on the Illini on the year, averaging 15.8 per game. Bird to inbound, forecourt. Johnson wide open 3. So it took UConn 24 minutes before they hit their first 3 of the night.
And it couldn't have come at a better time.
Ball loose. Bird sticks her hand in, and oh, look at the feed to Johnson.
Are you kidding me?
And Teresa Grenz can't wait for that first TV timeout, which would have arisen at the next dead ball. Instead, she calls timeout. 54-39, UConn by 15, and an eerily similar play to the one we saw the other night with Shea Ralph hitting the floor to pick up the loose ball and using the eyes she has in the back of her head to find the open receiver. Bird did the same thing.
That was just a fascinating play. Regarded as one of South Africa's great.
Take a look at the hustle by Sue Bird.
I mean, that's just wanting the ball more than anyone else. I don't know why they didn't call a walk there. They've called everything else, but what a terrific play and a great finish by Johnson.
Following the Illinois timeout, Illini ball down 15. Hunter, and a whistle away from the ball and in the lane.
That's going to be on Hansmeyer, I'm sure. She got away with a couple pushes.
Her first, 5 on UConn this half.
And I'm agreeing with him right now. I mean, you know, coaches usually complain about all calls against their team, but he's got a legitimate problem.
Timeout, 15:22 to go. Suddenly it's UConn by 15. Bob Picozzi, Megan Pattison back at Gamble Pavilion. UConn by 15, 15:22 to go. On the year, Megan, the Huskies shoot 39% from three-point range, but they missed their first 7 tonight before this one went down.
Well, as I said earlier, no better time than right then for Kenitra Johnson to knock down the team's first 3. And they put this to just give a little bit more of a lead.
Off the inbound, Martin misses the shot. Williams gets the rebound, and Martin goes flying. Illinois with only 3 points here in the second half. 13-3. Huskies outscore them. And there's Bird with 3 more. So they missed the first 7 3-point attempts, and they hit the last 2, and the lead's 18.
I mean, all of a sudden, this lead got to 18. I don't know how it happened, Bob.
Well, Williams steps in, deflects the pass, then comes down with it, and it's called for steps.
I got to say this once again, that's a terrible call. And the Huskies have toughened up defensively. Great job. I mean, she was pushed. She put the ball down on the floor. If anything else, Curtin came in from behind.
Martin just fell down, and then while on the floor, used her leg to try to lock up Williams.
Well, it's getting physical, and now words are being exchanged, and this is where you got to be the bigger team and not get involved in that garbage, but not get pushed around either. And the Huskies have been so impressive this half, Bob, with really extending this lead, and they've done it, and as we've discussed, it hasn't been dramatic. It's just one possession at a time. They're playing solid defense and then knocking down some big shots.
Foul on Tamika Williams. Was her second. That's 6 on the Huskies this half. Teresa Grenz told me yesterday we need to control the tempo and not panic. UConn has great confidence. We always have to know where the next pass is going. That hasn't been the case here in the first 5 minutes of the second half, Megan.
Not at all. Huskies doing a good job of moving the ball and attacking the zone defense.
Bird, she'll be called for steps, and no one can quibble with that one.
Well, I mean, what she was doing really served no purpose to be dribbling down there. The baseline, the sideline rather, acts as another defender. You got nowhere to go. Why go down there and get yourself stuck? 5
turnovers for UConn this half, 4 for Illinois, and another body hits the deck. This time it's Allison Curtin. So UConn getting into some team foul trouble. In fact, that's number 7. So Illinois will be shooting free throws for the rest of the half. The Illini, after a bad start from the line, now 10 of 15 from there tonight.
And the refs are calling, you know, they've been calling the game tight the entire time, and I think especially now they will do that based on what you pointed out before. A little bit of pushing, shoving, words exchanged. Keep things from getting out of control.
In addition to everything else, Curtin terrific from the free throw line. 87.5% for the season. Tops on the team and 4th in the Big Ten. Of course, no sooner do I say that. Abrasimova pass behind Tamika Williams.
You don't want to pass the ball from that spot. You get a little. The rule on the break is you stop at the foul line. Tamika, I think Tamika thought Sveta was going to shoot it.
Down low, Curtin misses the tough shot. Rebound, Abrasimova tried to save while going out of bounds. Instead, winds up in Vanna's hands. But after the miss, Taja Catchings will be whistled for her 4th personal foul with 13:45 to go. And now Teresa Grentz has a big problem with her club down 15, and her best rebounder will have to sit down.
Terrific rebound there by Williams.
Illinois foul number 12, Taja Catchings.
5 team fouls this half on Illinois, so Catchings will sit down. She's just 2 of 10 from the floor tonight. 5 rebounds. Catchings twice a 3rd team all Big Ten selection as a sophomore and a junior, making 2nd team all Big Ten. She played in that UConn Illinois game in the Sweet 16 3 seasons ago as a freshman. She scored 20 and was a major pain in the neck for the Huskies that night.
She was a force to be reckoned with that night. Just with all the last-second shots that she's hit in her career to win games, she came awfully close that night.
Bird, nice pass inside Schumacher.
Perfect play by Schumacher. Good job by Bird to get it to her. All she had to do was turn and shoot.
And Curtin throws up the tough shot and will get to the free throw line.
Shuey did a great job of backing her defender way down, where all she had to do was catch and turn over the front of the rim.
Foul on Bird, her 3rd. The points in the paint story now leaning heavily toward the Huskies.
It's a terrific adjustment the Huskies have made since the half.
So Bird will leave with 3 fouls. Williams leaves. Johnson returns, and Ralph back in with 3 fouls. Allison Curtin is 2nd in the Big Ten in scoring, 4th in free throw shooting, 4th in steals, 6th in field goal percentage. We mentioned earlier she was named yesterday the Big Ten Player of the Week. She's off to a terrific start. Great feed of Abrasimova to Schumacher, but she couldn't catch it.
Well, the problem, Shuey was going to her right and the ball was thrown back to her left, but you got to catch that ball.
Yep. Hunter down the lane, and Vanna picks up the loose ball and lays it in.
It's the first time Illinois scored in a while.
Only their 8th and 9th points of the half. It was a 5-point UConn lead at intermission. Illinois in the zone. Ball reversal to Ralph. And she and Schumacher got crossed up on their signals. She wanted Kelly to cut to the hoop, and she stayed put. Jumper no good. Curtin rebound knocked out of bounds by Abrasimova. She got tangled up with her own player.
And that's Sveta's fault, because she can see Shea in front of her. Shea cannot see Sveta behind her.
Abrasimova with only 2 points tonight. 1 for 5 from the floor, 4 rebounds. Williams right back in after a short rest. Sauer in as well.
Williams has played so well, especially this half, getting big defensive rebounds.
Curtin spins and hits the shot. And Teresa Grentz wanted to know, why was there not a 4th foul call on Shea Ralph?
I thought Shea had pretty good position there. They could have gone either way.
Johnson against the zone. Down low, finds Williams. Hey, she missed. They ought to stop the game and issue a commemorative stamp. Her first miss of the night.
They're going to call a foul on Sauer over the top.
That's 3 on her. So Sauer, Bird, and Ralph all with 3 fouls for UConn. 9 team fouls on the Huskies. So even though it's a 12-point lead, Illinois is going to have many opportunities to cut into that lead from the free throw line.
And there's a lot of time left in the game, and as you said, to have all those opportunities from the line, it makes the game even longer.
So Curtin, an 88% shooter from the line, missed her last two, including the front end of a 1-and-1. They're just 12 of 20 from there tonight, only 60%. Johnson into the post. Williams is doubled and hammered. No, they call travel. Oh. Wow. We have a timeout. 11:53 to go in the ball game. Number 1 ranked UConn looking for win number 5. The Huskies have a 12-point lead over Illinois. UConn player Missy Rose, who played on the national championship team in 1995. Oh, it's not that boring, Missy. 12-point lead.
Bob, her music has captivated Latin Studio Thursday night at 8 p.m.
11:45 to go. UConn down 12. Illinois ball. Huskies in a 2-3 zone. Pass inside. Wilson did the hard part, missed the layup. Rebound Bird.
Bird doing a good job from the guard spot, coming down, grabbing the board.
Great reverse dribble by Johnson, but the pass inside is stolen.
She fired it from 2 feet away at Williams' head with 2 defenders right on her.
Huskies with 10 turnovers in the first 9 minutes of the second half. Pass inside, bounced off the chest of Wilson and into UConn's hands. Here's Ralph. She'll get to the line. Boy, she makes a living at that free throw line, doesn't she?
And good players do that, Bob, because they go to the basket with authority. The best players get themselves to the free throw line a lot. Number one, they command a lot of respect when they get the ball, but they go to the basket hard with the ball.
Shea Ralph leads the Big East in steals, 2nd in scoring, 2nd in field goal shooting, and 9th in free throw shooting. Tonight she's 6 of 8 from the line, so 2 rare misses. She'd only missed 4 free throws in the first 4 games.
It's mental toughness from the free throw line. You do the same routine every time.
Well, this would have to be classified as a slump from the line for her tonight. She's only 7 of 10 from there.
Tamika Williams making it happen again now on the offensive end. Drawing the foul just with quickness and hustle, getting inside.
Despite that miss by Ralph, the Huskies are shooting 88% from the line tonight. 14 of 17. And Williams with a chance to add to it.
Sign of a good team. You gotta knock down free throws when you're struggling a bit offensively.
Paige Sauer will get a rest. Asia Jones returns. Tamika Williams scored 2,015 points in her career at Chaminade Julienne High School in Dayton, Ohio. That is a school record. Of course, University of Dayton heavily recruited Tamika.
Everyone heavily recruited Tamika.
Big win last night for the Dayton men's team as they upset number 12 Kentucky.
And yet another foul call. These refs want to be here a while, I think.
It's number 4 on Bird. 10 on the Huskies, so everything is 2 shots from here on in.
What's the deal there? I don't. I understand the hand checking emphasis, but that's a terrible call.
Would you do me a favor?
Sure.
Would you let me know when you see what you think's a good call?
Sure.
Let me know.
Oh, well, there haven't been that many tonight.
So Bird
Gotta call like you see it, Bob.
Bird will sit down with 4. Cross him over to Jones. In traffic, the pull-up. Rebound Martin. And Martin falls down. Now, how can that not be a travel? You dribble the ball and you fall down, you still have the ball. Isn't that a travel?
I guess the refs didn't think it was a travel.
Curtin can't get it to go. Keeps the rebound alive to her teammate Vanna. And then Curtin gets it back where she hustles all over the place.
And who did they call that foul on? Now that's a terrible call because Asia Jones threw her to the ground.
Sure did.
And the foul is on Curtin. Now you think, now you tell me, I've been hard on the refs all night, but that foul was called on the woman sitting on the ground. How much sense does that make?
Instead, it will be Jones going to the free throw line.
Checking back in for Illinois, number 22, Christy Faulkner.
Christy Faulkner back in, and Curtin will sit down after picking up her 3rd foul. She had picked up 2 early and only played 8 minutes in the first half as a result. She's just 4 of 13 from the floor tonight, but would you agree, Megan, just very impressive. On top of everything else, she just plays so hard.
She plays so hard. She's a smart player. Like you said, she was saddled with foul trouble early, but I'm just impressed with her athleticism and how she can get to the basket. She's so good and quick with the basketball, and she's a terrific defender as well.
Her younger sister, Suzanne, a freshman, is also a member of this Illinois team. They're both from Taylorville High School in Taylorville, Illinois.
They got 9 kids in their family. Allison is the oldest, so they're used to a lot of contact and action.
Guess it's tough to get a bathroom in that house, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't want to be the last one up in the morning. Rita Williams sitting behind the UConn bench.
So if you notice, I haven't seen a good call, so I haven't told you that. You can tell by the boos the crowd doesn't agree with it, and you missed it, but Gino was just down on all fours. His head was down on the court. He couldn't believe what he was seeing.
So Hunter makes the free throws. This game is almost an hour and 45 minutes old, and we have just reached the midway point of the second half. Right side of Brasabova. Pass intended for Jones, but she airmailed.
That's the Svetlana of old that we haven't seen too much the last few games. A bad pass, bad decision results in a turnover.
So Illinois just hanging around, down 13. 40 fouls in this puppy tonight. There's a rejection by Tamika Williams. 2-on-1. Ralph with the finish. Off the feed from Kadisha Johnson.
And it was a terrific pass from Johnson. It was a bounce pass, which is what you needed to do in that situation. She could have taken it herself. Very unselfish.
And it was set up at the other end by the Tamika Williams rejection. Jones active, gets a hand on it. Ralph with it on the floor, tries to find a teammate. Cannot, but instead she draws the foul. That was the 21st foul of the night on Illinois. There have been 20 on UConn.
And I thought Ralph did a fine job here of keeping her composure. She would look like she was punched in the face at one point. And she did, well, she did use her own right arm, a stiff arm of sorts. But she was hit in the face. And that's where you got to be careful that you don't let your emotions get the best of you and do something stupid.
So that's foul number 4 on Susan Blosser. It has been a nightmarish evening for her. Just 1 for 7 from the floor, 3 points.
Well, the nasty rejection by Williams, which sets up a nice pass from Johnson to Ralph.
Williams, a very overlooked defensive player.
She's the best perimeter defender on the team, which you wouldn't think of being a forward.
Faulkner hits a 3. She's got 5 points. A Brasimova pass deflected. Palmer tried to call the timeout
and
to avoid the turnover.
Gino's got to get Sveta out of the game. And he quickly does. I mean, she's just not making good decisions right now. He just said, sit down. I can't look at you right now.
Inbound to Bird. UConn by 14. Johnson on the spin. To Ralph.
That's what you got to do against the zone. Pass it and then dump it in one-on-one. They cannot guard Jones.
6 points for the sophomore from Piscataway, New Jersey. Faulkner, air ball. Vanna tries to save the rebound. Instead, it comes to UConn, and this is a 5-on-4 if they hurry. Bird reverses to Johnson for 3. Got it.
That skip pass is so deadly against the zone, especially at the tail end of the break, and Johnson was way behind that arc.
So the lead is now up to 19 at the 8-minute mark. You'd never know that Bird and Johnson have only played together 5 games in their career, would you?
And they're both such smart, savvy players.
Blosser now 1 for 8 from the floor. She averages 16 per game. Pass on a bounce inadvertently winds up in Ralph's hands, misses the shot, gets it back. Bird for 3. Rebound Jones. And she is fouled.
Well, if that Bird 3 had gone down, it would have been lights out, I think, for Illinois. That would have been a complete backbreaker. Hansmeyer will return for UConn. Bob, I think Auriemma has done a terrific job of keeping bodies running in and out all night long. Different looks, different threats, and not one person in particular has stood out. I think Jones has stepped up a bit lately. She's been real quiet all game.
Cash had a terrific first half.
Williams has come on big, but see, Illinois doesn't play all that many players, so they've got to be tired, and that's what the Huskies do. They wear you down.
Well, Teresa Grentz just put in 4 new ones. Well, UConn goes 10 deep. Might as well use them. Jones back rims the second free throw. Cash keeps the rebound alive, and it winds up in the hands of Ralph and a new shot clock for UConn.
That's a killer, too. Offensive rebounds off their own free throw, and then to score on the next possession.
Ralph sets up Cash yet again. Catching's back in with 4 fouls. Feeds Vanna in the lane.
See, Jones took a dive there. They're trying to get Catchings on some offensive charges, which she's prone to. So a little acting never hurt.
Bird, right sideline. Ralph finds Cash inside. Good ball movement. Results in the Johnson 3.
That's how you beat a zone. You got to spread them out. They're packing it in.
Johnson with 15 points off the bench.
And her expression never changes.
Catchings down low to Vanna. Foul on Cash. That will be her second. If you're Teresa Grentz, I know you're in big time foul trouble, but you're now down 23. UConn is really picking apart the zone. Time to go back to the man.
Well, the problem is with players like Swin Cash, Asia Jones, the big guys for Illinois can't stay with them one-on-one. They've been exploited on that backside, and that's why you play zone, because you can't hang with them man-to-man.
Well, it's definitely been a pick your poison choice for Teresa Grentz, because the Huskies have been playing that inside-outside game, and it resulted in some good open looks from the perimeter. Timeout, 6:43 to go. And #1 ranked UConn appears to have this one in control. UConn up by 21, and what a job Shea Ralph has done finding the open man in the post.
You know, the bounce pass is a lost art, and especially in a situation right there, Jones was one-on-one in the low post. They spread out that zone. A perfect pass because Jones had backed her man way down deep. Simple baby hook.
Ralph with 6 assists tonight. Cash leads the Huskies in scoring with 16. Johnson off the bench with 15. And Ralph with 13. After this game, Illinois will go right back at it on Saturday with a visit to Texas.
Which is not a tough place to play, or rather not an easy place to play.
This is only Illinois' second away game tonight. Johnson in the lane. No good. Rebound Curtin. Comes back to Johnson, and the Huskies have a new 30.
And credit that play right there to Stacey Hansmeyer for keeping that ball alive.
Pass to the high post, and then back to Ralph, the old give and go.
Well, it's so hard to guard a person cutting off the high post with the ball. And Cash made a terrific pass to the diving Ralph because her man was stuck behind.
Curtin pass to Martin, who gets the spin. She's got 21.
Big night for Kylie Martin. Unfortunately, not a whole lot of support from the rest of the Illini.
Also 6 rebounds. Ralph directing traffic. Hansmeyer to Johnson. Shot clock at 10. Kick out Bird. Down low Ralph, the spin. Can't get it to go, but look at Cash with the rebound. Tremendous hustle by Swin Cash and a chance for a 3-point play.
That was an amazing play and one of sheer determination that Cash came flying in, ripped it down. I mean, take a look at this. Shea had the presence of mind to get it off before the shot clock expired, left-handed. And see, kids, don't put the ball on the floor, put it right back up, and she's loving it.
So a big night for the sophomore from Keysport, Pennsylvania, who missed a dozen games with a stress fracture last season.
Yeah, we talk a lot about missing Sue Bird. They miss Swin Cash so dearly. A lot for just her hustle like on that play and her sheer enthusiasm.
Curtin starts to drive, and if she goes, she'll draw the foul. Oh, and the Huskies head to Orlando this weekend to play Penn State, currently ranked 11th in the country. They could call up their former teammate, Nikisha Sales. We ought to know all the spots in Orlando by now, right?
I would think so. They love her down there.
Terrific doubleheader in the Honda Elite Classic Sunday. Number 1 UConn versus number 11 Penn State. Number 4 Louisiana Tech versus number 5 UCLA. And speaking of Nikisha,
I saw her at halftime. I said, Keisha, I love that little headgear. Always looking stylish.
She, of course, plays for the Orlando franchise in the WNBA.
Had an all-star rookie season. And just one of the nicest people that you'll ever meet.
Huskies won a national championship when Nikisha was a freshman. And that's it for Kylie Martin. She fouls out with 21 points.
The fans here at Gamble recognize a game well played. She hustled and worked her tail off.
Susan Blosser, who has 4 personal fouls, will replace her. Illinois has been to the NCAA tournament the last 3 years under Teresa Grentz. They've made 6 NCAA appearances in their 25-year women's basketball history. With that free throw, Cash has just equaled her career high with her 20th point of the night. Last season, the Illini defeated Louisville in the opening round of the NCAA tournament before losing to Clemson. They won their first ever Big Ten title in 1997. Off the missed free throw, Blosser misses another easy shot, then finally gets her second field goal of the night. She's just 2 of 10 from the floor.
Yeah, that's what you would call a nightmare.
Inside Hansmeyer off the pretty feed from Kenitra Johnson.
No wasted movement there by Hansmeyer. Just catch, turn, and score.
Stop and go dribble by Curtin and a blocking foul on Cash.
Swin's laughing. I think she tried to be a bit dramatic there on that play. Cash tends to go for the drama.
All 10 UConn players to see action tonight have managed to get into the scoring column as Curtin makes the first free throw, replaced by Asia Jones comes in, and Cash will depart with a career high equaling 20 points in case she does not return. Curtin last year set Illinois freshman records with 400 points and 60 steals, and as we mentioned at the very beginning of the telecast, She reached the 500-point mark faster than any player in Illinois history. Jones uses the glass for a couple more.
On another terrific pass from Hansmeier. I mean, that was perfect offensive execution.
The lead is 23, and Vanna with the low post jumper for her 7th and 8th points of the night. Hansmeier for 3.
Everything's working now, Bob.
Her first 3 of the season. And we have another timeout. 3:53 to go in this one, and before you know it, UConn's going to reach 100 again. On by 24, 3:53 remaining.
Night at 8 o'clock.
Off the inbound, Catchings misses the jumper. Rebound Jones, who then starts the journey up the court herself before giving to Bird. Hansmeier baseline. Johnson for 3. It's like a clinic.
Another great pass from Hansmeier and a terrific pass from Asia Jones at the top of the key.
So UConn now with a 27-point lead over the number 10 ranked team in the country. Curtin with the tough jumper in traffic. Rebound Asia Jones.
I've been impressed in the second half with the toughness the Huskies have shown. They didn't get pushed around. They obviously wanted to make an adjustment with the offensive rebounds they gave up, and they really toughened up on that back line and got big defensive rebounds the whole second half.
The last 6 or 7 minutes, their ball movement and offense has been spectacular, except for that position. Curtin with the left hand. Her 5th field goal of the night. She's got 18, only 5 of 15 from the floor. Sauer again. The quick passing. Jones finds Sauer. And Gino Auriemma calls a timeout, I think, to get Marcy Zell and Christine Rigby into the game. 53 points from the UConn bench.
That's an amazing statistic. That just tells you, how dangerous this team is. We talked off the top of the show, Bob, about how they come at you from so many different angles, and not many teams can boast 50 points off their bench.
And Megan, you of course were an assistant coach on the national championship team. Whose responsibility is it to keep track of the minutes that everyone plays? Because when you have 10, you want to get them in and out of the lineup. You don't want anyone to sit too long.
Chris Daly is, all the coaches are involved, but Chris Daly is really in Gino's ear most of the game, just saying who's tired, who needs a break, who needs to get back in. It's done by committee, but I know Chris is very involved in that particularly.
Pass into the post and a foul on the Huskies. So after the visit to Orlando and the date with Penn State on Sunday, UConn will then play its Big East opener a week from tomorrow. December 8th, that will be at Seton Hall. And
be a nice home trip for you to your alma mater.
Now, Nikisha knows all the spots in Orlando. I know all the spots, every one of them, in South Orange, New Jersey. Both of them.
All one of them? Yeah, I think I would maybe rather be Nikisha in this case, because Orlando is a lot more fun. Although my dad did grow up in South Orange.
Very nice town.
It is.
The village of South Orange, as the natives call it. So we'll be at Walsh Auditorium a week from tomorrow to bring you that one here on Connecticut Public Television. The first of 16 Big East games for the Huskies. Big East schedule cut back from 18 to 16 games this year. And Seton Hall one of 4 opponents that the Huskies will play home and home. A steal for the Illini. Curtin on the right to Hunter. 1:45 to go. Hunter for 3 and drills it. Shavonna Hunter, freshman from Hazel Crest, Illinois, had 695 steals in her high school career. That is an Illinois State high school record.
Yeah, 189 alone in her senior year.
Sauer down low to Rigby, and as she goes, she was fouled. I think it will be on Hunter. It will be.
Big Rig is tough when she gets the ball in that low post. She doesn't waste a lot of movement either. She just turns. She can do a left-handed baby hook, right-handed baby hook. That's nearly impossible to defend, especially when you're 6'6" and a big body like Rig.
This game tonight against Illinois, one of 11 for the Huskies against teams who are currently ranked in the top 25 as Kenitra Johnson sits down. 18 points and 4 assists, 7 for 12 shooting for the preseason selection for Big East Rookie of the Year. Sauer with the offensive rebound, and she gets fouled.
How about Paige Sauer on that rebound? Haven't seen that in a while.
For Paige, her 3rd rebound of the evening.
Illinois foul number 12, Taja Ketchum.
7 of those 11 games that I mentioned against top 25 teams for the Huskies will be against teams who are currently ranked in the top 8 in the country. They'll play 3rd-ranked Tennessee, home and home. 4th-ranked Louisiana Tech and 5th-ranked UCLA will come here to Gamble. A home and home with number 7 Rutgers. A date with number 8 Notre Dame. Their only date with Notre Dame, and that will be at the Civic Center on February 26th. That will seem strange to not see the Irish until the last week of the regular season.
And I'm sure it will be a game with big implications.
Rigby with the offensive rebound and putback to reach the 100-point mark.
They love it when Big Rig scores, especially like that.
Sauer with that first free throw became the 20th leading scorer in UConn history, and Curtin answers with a 3. She's got 21 points. Zell to Sauer inside a minute. Pass to Rigby, and it's stolen. Boy, that Curtin's playing hard right down to the last second, isn't she?
That's a sign of a true competitor. Never giving up. It's also a sign of many of Teresa Grentz's teams.
Connecticut foul number 13, Marcy Zell.
Illinois finished 3rd in the preseason WNIT. As we take another look.
And Zell with a little body block. It was a late call, too. The officials weren't going to call it.
No, was that a good call?
Well, she went down. I think you have to in this case. I think they wanted to. I'm not going to say it's a good call.
Megan, that'd be a 2-minute penalty in a hockey game.
Yeah. But it was funny that they did take a long time to call it. I think because there's under a minute left.
Zell for 3. Back rims it. Rebound. Curtin.
This place would have erupted if that went down.
Curtin goes right by Zell, but misses the layup. Rebound Sauer. Shot clock is off, and here's Curtin with another steal. She's all over the place.
Never say die. Fighting Illini.
Pass into the post. Wilson spins. No good. Rebound Rigby. Hands to Bird, who fires from 50, and that'll do it. So UConn with a very impressive 59-point second half. And the number 1 ranked Huskies beat Illinois 100-79. They're now a perfect 5-0.
Everything was dropping, I guess.
Well, in the first half, you guys came out a bit sluggish. Were you surprised by the way Illinois came at you?
No, we weren't surprised at all. Pretty much coach told us that, you know, they're going to come out aggressive and looking to take it right at us. And I think, you know, we were kind of surprised, but the second half we kind of responded to it.
Yeah, what happened in that second half? You guys completely took over the game, and then the next thing you know, you're up by 15 and off to the races.
Pretty much, you know, they out-rebounded us in the first half, and the second half we just came out, you know, and everybody just got together and said, we're not going to let them out-hustle us, and we just got it together.
All right, well, congratulations. Terrific game. Good luck down in Orlando. Enjoy the nice weather while we freeze up here. Thanks, Swin. Bob, back to you.
Okay, Megan, thank you very much. Congratulations to Swin. So Illinois drops to 5-2. Next up for the 10th ranked Illini, a date at Texas on Saturday. UConn 5-0. and will visit or play Penn State in Orlando on Sunday. Final stats, UConn out shooting the Illini 52% to 35. 25 turnovers for UConn, but they had the advantage off the boards 52-41, and Illinois started out with a big edge off the boards at the beginning of the night. For the UConn Huskies, Swin Cash with 20, 18 points for Kenitra Johnson, 15 for Shea Ralph, 10 for Tamika Williams. Allison Curtin led the way with 23 for Illinois, 21 for Kylie Martin. So a big win for UConn over a team for the Big Ten. Second win for the Huskies over a Big Ten team. They beat Iowa on opening day, and they'll have another team, number 11 Penn State, on Sunday. So for Megan Pattison, I'm Bob Picozzi. Again, the final, UConn 100, Illinois 79. Our next CPTV telecast will be Wednesday, December 8th, when the Huskies take on Seton Hall at 7 p.m. The preceding a production of Connecticut Public Television.
The lineup tonight is top-ranked UConn met number 10 Illinois at Gamble. Svet will have surgery tomorrow, then wear a mask. She played just 19 minutes. Early on, UConn getting killed on the defensive glass. 15 first-half offensive boards for Illinois. UConn down 4. The Huskies doing a much better job on the offensive board. Swin Cash relentless. She had 12 first-half points. Just before the half, Tamika Williams steals, and Kenitra Johnson finishes. The momentum swung UConn by 5 at halftime. Second half, this is the best of Sue Bird's game-high 7 assists. Acrobatic pass to Johnson, who had 18 off the bench, and the route was on. Shea Ralph at 15 points and 6 assists. Cash 20 points, 9 rebounds, and a very Keisha-type performance. UConn wins 100-79 as they improve to 5-0. Men's top 20.